Mr. DeVito, first of all, honor as always to speak with you, sir.
Thank you.
I love this film. I'm not familiar with the book, but now I'm going to be because
Yeah.
I enjoyed the film so much. But I got to ask because I love Bob the dog. So talk to me. Who is Bob the dog, Mr.
Well,
DeVito?
the thing about I relate to with Bob is that, Bob is a footloose, fancy free character. He can come and go as he please. He's no boundaries. He's free. He can eat a piece of pizza off the ground. He doesn't care. He have a chunk of hot dog, maybe find some popcorn, wanders into the big top mall on the on the side of the road somewhere out in the outskirts of town, and even though that's what he thinks is the most important thing and the greatest thing about his life,
Right.
he walks into a place, ironically, where there's a silverback gorilla named Ivan who's in captivity for 27 years, and it becomes his best friend. And he knows that now the most important thing about life is to have that connection with other people, with other species, with other animals, with friends, whether you're a
Absolutely.
loved one or your cousin or brother or sister or mother or whatever you have, neighbor.
Right.
So the residual benefit is, of course, I got the most beautiful poodle, Helen Mirren, upstairs in Ivan's domain. So I related to the character in that way. I felt like I see that in my life, that I know that one of the most important things in life is, you got to have your health, but, it's really cool to have friends.
I couldn't agree with you more because I also identified with Bob the dog more so than the other characters. I felt like that was my Mr. DeVito, Bob the dog. You were my spirit animal. So there you go. Now, look, a lot of your co-stars had a very high praise with you working in the booth in the sound booth. I know that you worked with Sam Rockwell quite often, quite a bit, and Ron Funches, and as well as Shaka Khan. So just talking about Sam to begin with,
Yeah.
can you talk to me about recording together and the collaboration process between the two of you and the freedom that you guys had in the booth?
Great. The best thing about it was that Thea Shark, who directed it, had
Right.
us set up in a room where we could actually see each other. So we were isolated, semi-isolated in a sound booth, but we could see through either plexiglass or glass or over the top or around the side. We could see the other actors. So
Right.
it was good for the give and take, the improvisation, and we worked Angelina that way, and with Shaka Khan, and with Brooklyn Prince, and with Sam, Helen. Everybody did the same thing. We had that freedom, and it was a really good way to work.
I feel
Usually, you're in a booth and you're
right.
on your own, so this was a good thing.
I feel like that's almost a lost art, though. That actors getting together in booths and still recording together. So it's pretty cool that you guys were able to feed off of each other in that way.
Well, you got to have the right people too. So
Right.
the cast was important. These people are all really stand-up people. They're like, they're all really good people. They're very giving, and you've got to, it's a give and take kind of thing. Otherwise, it
Well,
wouldn't be fun.
yeah, Shaka Khan actually credits you with helping develop her character's voice, Henrietta's voice, and kind of working with that. So yeah, she said that you were very instrumental in helping create the voice of Henrietta.
Yes.
Um, so I want to ask, can you talk to me about the relationship between Ivan and Bob the dog? Because I feel like that friendship is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's that closeness. It's almost, it's a speak and response or whatever it is. It's that kind of thing that secondhand nature that you develop when you get close to somebody, and that's where we were. We were on the same page always, supporting each other. We loved each other.
Right.
The two animals just loved each other. So that we just like, there was nothing that we couldn't do that would ever step on any. We give each other advice, but we would be always considerate and have compassion for the other person's feelings, and that's what was so great about the relationship. I think that Catherine Applegate wrote that in her original book, and she's actually written a new book that's out now. It's called The One and Only Bob, and there is the relationship is continued.
I hope we get a one and only Bob movie. That's all I'm saying. Hope that's in the works. I do have a question about Bob specifically though, because it seems like Bob kind of comes from the wild because he was kind of left, but he kind of comes from the wild. Can you talk to me about what Bob thinks about when everybody or when Ivan and Stella like really want to live in the wild and be a part of the wild? What is Bob's kind of view on that?
Well, I think that even though he may be in denial, I mean, Bob really, when he goes up to visit Snickers and he does get to eat the kibble, he likes it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't admit it. You know, I like the cushy bed. I
Right,
like when somebody brush my hair. You know what I mean? Even though, it's like, I'm standing up against it. I'm fronting against this kind of thing, that behavior. That's
yep.
kind of like wimpy. You know what I mean? And I don't need it. He doesn't have it, so he doesn't. So I guess that there is there's a feeling about, and then in terms of them leaving, there is a double-edged sword there too. I mean, I want them to be free, and I want us to be free, and I'm thinking and I'm imagining that what the plan that Ivan and I come up with is going to work. It's not really well thought out. We, but there is the hope that we may be able to live the same life in without the bars,
Right, right.
without the jail, without the enforcement of the perimeters. So there are a lot of hopes and dreams in this movie.
Well, Mr. DeVito, I thank you so much for your time. Excellent job on the film. I can't wait for it to come out for the world to see it. And again, you're a legend, and I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.